All right, we got a story to tell you. Apparently, too many pretty women are being used in promotional material about the U.S. Army. So this morning on Fox and Friends, we're going to tell you about how at least one person in the Army thinks that rather than looking for a few good men, we should be looking for a few average-looking women.
That's right. So this is, you're seeing a picture here of Colonel Lynette Arnhart. And just a little background here. So the Army's recently lifting the ban on women in combat, right? So it's causing an ugly fight right now since the colonel posted these comments apparently in an email that was obtained. In general, ugly women are perceived as competent, while pretty women are perceived as having used their looks to get ahead. Now, she's speaking in terms of the advertising that they're having. So she's saying, look, when we show pictures to try to get women involved in combat, we should be using maybe a less pretty picture because it might give the wrong idea. They might not be able to pack some heat on the battlefield.
I guess what she's saying is in battle, in real life, in Iraq and Afghanistan, they didn't put on makeup and they're not doing their nails, and they shouldn't be showing lip gloss on these ads. I feel for her because she's just trying to adapt to some rules that some bureaucrats gave her, number one. And this was not supposed to be public. This was an internal email that was exposed. So this colonel was probably served brilliantly in just trying to present a female image of one in combat directly. And I just hate to see her dragged through the mud. But this is something you just don't say, even if you think that you should have a
trying to fix it.
Well, because it puts forward a stereotype in some ways, but I do think perhaps it was someone commanding that she maybe put an email forward. We don't know that, but I will say that why not run with it? Why not run a pretty tough campaign? Why does it matter what
you
looks
mean put them both in the ads?
And you're also assuming, I think, to think maybe the Army assume that just women would be looking at those ads. I mean, surely men may be enticed to join in.
Well, what do you say?
That's just it. I think historically, I think they've used for a while some attractive women. Hey, look who's joining the Army, to get guys to join.
I've been up to West Point. There are attractive women up there, you know, and they are pretty tough. I say they run with that.
I hope somebody from Washington is watching right now in the Pentagon. Adopt Elizabeth Hasselbeck's suggestion. New campaign, pretty tough.
So do you want to see two women? I mean, do you want to see like a pretty woman and a tough woman, or a pretty tough woman?
How about a pretty tough woman? And then
one woman who's pretty and tough.
Well, maybe what is pretty?
It sounds like you're describing a tire.
Decide. Actually, go to Facebook right now. Our Facebook question of the day: should looks matter on the battlefield? What is it? Fox and Friends /Facebook/Fox and Friends, right?
Right.
There you go.
Okay,
and it's a pretty tough question.
But we do know overall, can you leave the military alone?
Right.
I mean, first off, okay, you're going to forget about don't ask, don't tell. That creates an uproar, whether you agree with it or not, and they're in the middle of two wars. And then you have this campaign where they say, okay, women have to be in combat. I didn't see a whole lot of women protesting that they were in combat.
No.
They're creating issues within the military, which is the one part of the government that's working.
Well, this particular colonel was simply saying that the picture, the image used in promotional campaigns and whatnot is inaccurate. Well, she wants it to be accurate.
Sure, and she doesn't want to deter anyone who may think, well, do I have to look like a certain way?
Pretty tough.
Tough.
You heard it here.
Hasselbeck.
Pretty tough.
Very good. All right.
Go Army.
We got some headlines right now from that gal right there.
You know what's interesting about this? Women in war zones, what I saw in Iraq, they do wear makeup. Women in the military wearing makeup because it helps them feel like a lady in the midst of that chaos there.
Right, and we're not a nation where ask someone to not be who they are.
Yeah, I like that. Pretty tough.